So I just need you to state your full name and where you were born.
My full name?
Yeah.
Laurel Madeline Whitlaw. That's my full name.
And what year were you born?
1920, August 9th, 1920.
And where?
In a little place called Harley. My mother and dad lived in Port Credit because he worked for the railroad, but she went up to her older sister, who was a midwife, and in a place called Harley. So, and that's where I was born.
What's your earliest childhood memory?
Pardon?
What's your earliest childhood memory?
In Port Credit, when my mother's neighbor next door, I remember her. I used to play with a little boy, and her name was Mrs. Odell, and I remember her standing for some reason, I remember her standing at the door, and she was such a pretty lady. I just remember that. That's my earliest one.
So when did you move to Dundas?
1933.
And why did your family move here?
Why did we come to Dundas? My dad worked on the railroad. He was a section foreman, and they would call him get bumped every once in a while. So we came to Dundas, and we've stayed. Thank goodness.
Why did you stay?
Pardon?
Why did you stay?
My dad worked on the railroad, and so no one came along, and he always worked on the railroad. No one came along to bump him or anything.
Why did you stay?
Pardon?
Why did you stay in Dundas?
Why did I stay? I liked it, I guess. And I worked here, and my husband worked at Bertram's, which used to be here. He worked, and we got married. We stayed in 2 rooms, and then 1950, went up to Tweedsmuir Avenue. We had a house built up there, and we stayed there.
Where did you work?
I worked at Leonard's.
That's an underwear factory? Is that what I heard?
Oh, God, she had.
The-
Yeah, yeah.
But we're so embarrassed. She worked at Leonard's for 9 years. Leonard's underwear.
Underwear. It's underwear. We folded underwear. Yes. And I think a lot of Dundas girls worked in Leonard's, and had some good friends there. And Mr. Bert Leonard and Mr. Jack Leonard. I think Bert worked in the office, worked in there someplace. And Jack was there. They're very nice people.
Why did you start working there?
Why did I start working there? Because I very foolishly quit school.
How did you get the job?
And a friend of mine was working there, and maybe that's how it was. I forgot now. I didn't go down. No, I didn't go down. I think my mother wrote a letter to Frank Leonard, as a matter of fact. I think that's it.
Did he go to your church?
Yeah, so then I went in there and worked.
Tell him the story about, remember the Leonards invited everybody back?
Oh, when Leonard's was sold and turned into apartment buildings, and so Jack Leonard invited all his workers to come back to meet him one afternoon, and we did. And he was up on top of the roof. There's a little place up there, and we were all up there, and he was so pleased to see us. He welcomed us. I think he kissed us when we came in, shook our hand. He was so pleased with us. So we had a nice little visit, and that was very nice. Had good times there.
Was your family religious at all?
Pardon?
Was your family religious at all?
My family?
Religious. Did we go to church?
Presbyterians.
Went to Knox Presbyterian.
Knox Presbyterian. Always went there.
How did that affect your social interactions?
How did I affect it? I always had friends. I had wonderful friends all my life.
But with the church, you
And
belonged
the church, yes.
Each
Friends
church
went to
groups.
church.
church groups, right? Married
Yeah.
couples.
Yeah.
What else was there?
There are three women in here all went to the same church. No, 4 women all went to the same church they did. And we had We had a little church group for 35 years, a bunch of us. We had a really good time. It was a nice church. Mr. Mitchell was our minister for years. He was well loved by everyone. And then I think there was a Mr. Smith, and Walter Allen came in, and he stayed for a long time. That's the one Lynn remembers.
Well, he had 5 children, and we're all the same ages, so.
We'll say you just
Exactly.
bond.
Yeah. Or fought.
Yeah, same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember we had a man speaking, I think on not having too many children. There was something about talking anyway, and afterwards his wife said to him, "What? How come we had him up there? We've got 5 children."
That was the minister's wife saying to his wife.
Yeah, he was.
So, what area of Dundas did you grow up in?
What area?
Yeah.
Yeah, by the high school. By Dundas High School. We were about a block away from there on Brock Street. Really nice part of the town. Well, it was all nice. But we had great neighbors and great fun up there. We'd play baseball in the afternoon. Well, the boys and the girls would play on the street because there weren't that many cars around. So we had a good time there.
And you went up to the peak?
Hmm?
You climbed up to the peak?
We went up to the peak. You heard about Dundas Peak?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We went up there a lot. We really liked that. That was fun. There was about 4 or 5 of us always together getting into trouble, I guess.
What kind of trouble would you get into?
Not really any trouble, no. We did one time. We were up by the Dundas school. It was an afternoon, hot in the summertime. We thought we'd hitchhike up till we see how many times we could hitchhike up the hill and back again. Of course, our parents didn't know that, but we did that. That was nice. Not many cars on the road.
So you said your father worked on the railroad.
Yes.
Do you recall any stories about that?
My dad worked on the road. There was the Christmas accident, yes. That was shortly after, that was at 1933, I can't remember what that was. Not too long after he moved. And he went up, and you could see from our house, you could see the hill where the glow was. And he went up, and he was there all night and day. And before he left, he said to my mother, "Don't let the girls come up there," because people were going up to see what was going on. He said, "Don't let them come up here." And when he came back, he was so tired, he sat in a chair in the dining room and fell sound asleep. He was exhausted and never talked about it. He was just really upset about it.
So, what was Dundas like pre-war? Oh, sorry. What was Dundas like pre-war?
What was Dundas like before the war?
Oh, it was a small village, and everybody knew everybody else. It just was a lovely place to live, and it still is. It's got bigger, of course, now, but you knew everybody practically then.
And you shopped on the main street, right?
Pardon?
You shopped on the main street, bought groceries on the main street in Dundas? Where did you go grocery shopping on the main street?
Oh, Broad's store was right near on King Street. It was just near us, not too far away. We would go there. And then the A&P store on Main Street, on King Street. So that was the A&P store. And Broad's, it was a smaller store. We'd shop there too. My mom would shop there.
So what was Dundas like during the war? Did you notice any differences?
Pardon?
What was the town like during the war?
Well, I wasn't that old that I really didn't know too much about it. So I was old enough, but we had boys go away and were killed, and that was sad. That was sad. And some of the girls went, but they came back. But I think things just went along quietly.
Well, you had dances you went to up in Greensville during the war, right? Meeting the
Oh,
soldiers? And
yeah, we went to the other dances up in Greensville.
And remember the soldiers that came in from Australia and England for training?
Oh, they come to, yes, to the, where is that name of the
Mount Hope or?
yeah, the Mount Hope, yeah. And actually, this couple, they were an older couple, he turned out to be my husband's boss. They would have the boys come and stay. And I think there were 4 boys came at first, and they would come up and for a night or just for a visit. And they were really nice, so we got friendly with them. And then they left, and then 2 of the boys were killed. And then they had some more boys come. And so they really treated them very well. And we did go to a dance up there.
And remember your mother was worried about you?
Oh, well, there was one who were kind of friendly. My mother was afraid I was going to marry an Englishman and go away. But I didn't have any intention of leaving home.
But then you did meet Dad during the war, didn't you?
Some of the boys died.
No, you met Dad. You met Dad
Oh, yes, I did.
during the war, yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
Well, we used to dance up in Greensville, and he came up there with a friend that we knew, and he was a terrible dancer then. He's not at anyway. But then he came up the next week because they'd signed up that week to join the Navy. He would be 19, I guess, and then he came up the next week, and they were in new uniforms, but they'd had a little bit to drink, so they were having a grand time. And I met him at a Paul Jones, and he took a hold of me and whirled me down. And I went down and sat in Henry Moak's lap. I always remember him. And I thought, oh, I don't think so. But then I met him at Ivan's place again, and then he asked me to go to Letterman's dance, so we did. So from then on, we wrote back and forth.
So when did you start dating?
I'm sorry.
When did you start dating, going out with boys?
Actually, I really, I was kind of bashful.
That's why she
So
actually quit school, because she was shy. She was afraid the teachers were going to ask
Yeah, I
her
did.
to stand up and answer questions. So that's why she quit school. Yeah.
Did. So no, I went out a couple of times, but not too much. I had girlfriends, and it wasn't important then that it is now.
Well, you were pretty.
We played ball with the boys, and we had good friends. But no, we didn't go out very much now. Not for a while.
So you were more looking for fun,
Yeah.
just to play sports and still
Yeah.
be a kid at
Yeah.
that time, then grow up so
Well, I
quickly.
think Dundas was kind of like that. Everyone was kind of just friends, and you did sports.
And, yeah,
a lot of
you just-
sports, big
yeah.
sports, which it is like now. But because you did baseball and basketball.
Oh, sure, I played baseball.
And everyone knew everybody, like the Southall. Remember Jack Southall? You knew him, and all those people. They just were. Everyone was just kind of friends, kind of.
Do you remember a baseball game at all?
Pardon?
Do you remember any baseball games at all?
I'm sorry.
Do you remember? Talk about one of your baseball games.
Oh,
Maybe go into
we played on a team called the Nationals, and we had we used to walk from Brock Street all the way down to Park, and then we practiced and we played ball. This one time we were going, and I had 2 of my girlfriends, the 3 of us walking down, and we had long woolen stockings, and then we had kind of a pair. They weren't really shorts; they were kind of like bloomer tight, and then a sweater. So we rolled our stockings down. My dad's on the bus coming home from the city. A very quiet man. Very quietly, we informed us when we came back that he didn't want to see us rolling our stockings down again like that. That was not right. So we said, okay. So we leave them up till we got down at the park and then we rolled them down. But we played ball and it was fun. We traveled around.
Go out to Linden? You used to go out to Linden?
We went to Linden and we went to West Hamilton. I remember going to West Hamilton and we were in a truck. And it was Ray Connell, who was the member of Parliament. He was our coach. And so as we pulled into the field, there were boys and girls on, and the girls started getting off, and the boys started, not bad, okay, oh, yeah, okay. And we didn't want to get off because we were scared to death. And they kept, and then this one girl, she was nice, but and anyway, they said she was nice, and I don't want to get off. What am I going to say when I got off? And there was shots, and they said, not bad. I was so thankful. I thought, I'm going to die if they say anything to me. that was, yeah. But we did. We had a good time playing ball.
When did you decide to leave school? When did you decide to leave school?
Well, I guess I said I was just very shy. I didn't want to stand up in school and try anything. So finally I quit. I shouldn't have, but I did.
How old were you, Mom?
Probably 15 to 16.
And then you just went straight to work?
And then I went to work.
What was your favorite job that you've had?
My favorite job? We parceled up underwear and things like that. That's what we did, yeah. And we had one lady, her name was Mrs. Witchman. She was an older lady. We all called her Mrs. And she was lovely, and she was sitting sewing. She was really nice people. Really, we had a good time. It wasn't a great job, but it was a great time.
What was it like raising kids in Dundas?
No problem. We lived up on Tweedsbury Avenue, and it's kind of quiet up there. It was a great. We ran on a dead end street, and they were just half of it was built, and my husband and all the young we all went down. The other half we lived down there, and we all moved in together, and we all had good friends, and we kids played on the street. There was hardly any cars. It was a great place, wasn't it, Lynn?
Train used to go by.
Mm-hmm.
The train used to go by.
Yes, the train went by. That's part of this, what's called the rail trail now. It used to be a railway station.
And there were farms on either side of us, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because this was a farm that was sold that we lived on. They built homes on it. So it was nice. We had bonfires, Christmas trees. We'd burn the Christmas trees all together, the neighbors. It was, our kids still loved Tweedsbury Avenue. It's a really great place.
Wasn't the property you got through the Veterans Land Act? Didn't Dad get the property through the Veterans Land Act that people who
I paid for the land.
Oh, you did. Good for you.
Well, I had enough money saved. I paid. It was only $675. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And then when we could afford it, and Jimmy's dad and uncle were builders, so they built our house, and they dug the basement, horses with a kind of a rack thing, and would dig the earth out.
Wow.
So that's how we built right up there. We built that. And then before we moved, we had it for a year. So Jim and Jack Ross built a garden, had a garden up there. So we had a lot of, we had tomatoes and different things. It was good things. But it was and still is a really nice street. Once in a while we go down, have a look around. Yeah.
I heard a story about a bull and Mrs. Lawson.
Pardon?
Remember Mrs. Lawson and the bull? Remember the bull that chased Mrs. Lawson? Remember the bull?
Oh,
The bull
yeah.
chased Mrs. Lawson across the farm field?
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. Remember?
You remember that?
She got off the bus, yeah. And she chased, Mr. Hill's bull.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. She hopped the fence.
That's right.
That was before the plaza was built, right?
Yes. So we were there before the plaza. We weren't too sure we wanted the plaza, but then after it was built, it was great. You just wander over there quite a bit. That was nice.
And neighbors, remember the Glessings? The Glessings lived down the street. They used to have a coffee shop here in Dundas a long time ago, right beside the library, right there. Remember the Glessings
Yes,
coffee
the Glessings
shop?
had a coffee shop. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
5 girls. And
5 girls.
had 5 boys, so we had lots of kids to play with.
There was a lot of kids, about 25 or so, were they?
At one point, yeah.
All get out and play. So really, we didn't come downtown very much, did we?
Just 'cause you all had
We just stayed up there. Yeah.
And we went to Dundana School, so, so we were up there, yeah.
Yeah, Dundana. They built that when we were up there.
And Mom did lots of volunteering in town, didn't you? You did lots of volunteering in town.
Yes, I did. I did that. Mhm.
Where'd you volunteer?
Well, my husband belonged to the Kinsmen, and we were cadets, and we used to go over. And when they when they were opening new homes in there, what is the place called?
Sherwood Park? Sherwood Park? Pleasant Valley?
The across the street from us, across the tracks.
Sherwood Park.
Yeah,
Sherwood Park.
yeah, Sherwood Park. So they built a few houses, and so we would go down and we'd be in there and show people around. We did that.
And blood donors? You did the blood donors?
I did the blood donors.
And then you went around canvassing for cancer and kidneys and
I did. And I always wanted to be a nurse, but of course it didn't work out that way. But I seem to be nursing a lot of people for some reason or other.
all your life.
And friends come and stay. My one girlfriend come and stayed a while. She was going to lose her baby, so she stayed, and somebody else. So my very dear friend across the road said, "You know, Madge, you might not have been a nurse, but I think you're a frustrated one." Yeah.
What's your favorite place in Dundas?
I like the park. It's nice. I think my favorite place is Tweedsmuir Avenue.
Makes sense. Do you have a memory about the park or Tweedsmuir that sticks out?
About what?
Do you have a memory about the park that sticks out to you?
It was during the war. They had I think it was called the Pavilion. They would dance there. I think it was nickel or 10 cents or something they played, and you could dance. And I think on a Saturday night we would go down and they had music and we'd play.
Was that the old band shell? Was it the old band shell they used to have at the
No,
park?
it might have been.
Yeah, 'cause it was big.
I don't know if. I think we call it, might be the band shell. But the kids would all go there, and then some of the boys that were in the Navy or in the Air Force, they would come there.
Why don't you tell one of those stories about those soldiers when you hid under the table?
The what?
Remember when you hid under the table?
Don't want
Tell
to tell
that
that.
story. That's a good one.
Well, when our friends, Ivan would have them, the Air Force boys come down, and then finally they had some officers come down, so they wanted us to come over. And Margaret Mickus and I, well, we'll go. So we went over, and there was quite a few of them, and they're very nice. And then the one was playing the piano, and then this other one got kind of smart with Margie and I, and we didn't like it. We just didn't. We wanted to get out of there. So Grace and I even had a big tablecloth rubber. We crawled underneath there and hid. We didn't know what to do. And there was a big Jamaican man, very, very nice, and he'd been keeping an eye on us. He said, "Girls, come with me." And we came out then. We felt kind of foolish. Anyway, he kept us right by his side for a while. He wouldn't let anybody come near us. So that was the last time. We wouldn't go anymore. That was enough.
I wouldn't either.
And they were fine, but they were just kind of
Yeah.
see what they could get away with, I think.
For a good time, right?
Yeah. So that was the end of it for Margaret and I. We quit. We didn't feel we could like that. That was enough.
Is there a person from Dundas that stands out to you?
Well, I really don't know. Jack Leonard was a very nice man. He was a very nice man. The druggist, Mr. Dunlop, used to be a druggist. He was a nice man, very nice man. There were a lot of nice people in town. There were a lot of.
Baconis? How about the Baconis?
Oh, Mr. Bacconi. Oh yeah, he was a dear man. I heard about him. He would stand outside his store there, and he would speak to everyone. He was really nice, very nice.
Do you have a story about him that you can recall?
With
I think he was just a nice man.
the Baconi brothers, remember?
Oh, the Bacconi brothers we knew, yes.
Remember Whitlaw spaghetti? Do you
Pardon?
remember Whitlaw spaghetti, the recipe?
Oh, that's right.
That's a Baconi, yeah.
Jim and I would go in after we got married. We went in there, and she made Mrs. Bacconi made this special spaghetti. So she told Jim how to make it, and we always made it. So we call it the spaghetti, Whitlaw spaghetti. But it was from Mrs. Bacconi that we told us how to make it.
And it's kind of gone down,
Oh, it's
our
like
kids.
all the
our
ingredients,
kids
yeah.
make it, everyone keeps making Whitlaw spaghetti, But it was ironic that we're Scottish
started.
ancestry, it becomes Italian. Baconi's recipe.
Yes, it was.
What types of changes have you seen in Dundas?
A lot of the stores have changed. Not Carper's, the Collins Hotel is still there. But I think, and Dr. Bates has had a little home near there, but they moved it.
Is that the museum?
Yeah, it's at the museum, yeah. And Harold Bates Jewelry Store, it's Martin's store now, the jewelry store, but it used to belong to Harold Bates. And Ernie Martin worked for him, or maybe associated with him, I don't know. But after Harold Bates died, and Ernie Martin took it over. I remember that I would go down, I wanted to buy some silverware, but I really couldn't afford too much. So I picked out the silverware and then I would go down and pay him so much every week. You could do that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. So that's how I bought it. And then, let's see, what else? Powell's. Powell's was across from Martin's on the corner. I can't remember the name of it is. I think there's a little furniture store there now. And then the across was, I another store, and I can't remember the man. I remember the man, but I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But and Dr. Smith lived beside the Martins, the jewelry store. I can't remember anymore.
Well, the
I
deluxe.
think the hydro was along there, along past the Martins.
Yeah.
Before you got to Martins, it was a hydro store.
And it was a deluxe restaurant.
Hey, where was that?
Remember the deluxe restaurant over here? Mrs. Wong's restaurant, the Chinese restaurant? That was empty for so many years.
Oh, the Chinese restaurant. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I remember that. And Mrs. Chan?
yeah.
Mrs. Chan right there,
Wong,
yeah.
Wong, I think. Doesn't matter. I think her name was Wong. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of their boys was one of our baseball who handled the bats.
That boy.
Yeah, that's right. That was nice. And Grafton's store used to be where the police, and across from it was the Grafton's factory. Remember that? And the armories, we always called the armories. I still call the armories today. It's called the community center. But when I talk about it, or someone that we call it the armories. I can't remember anymore. Well, I guess I could if I thought about it.
Well,
And this used to be Bertram's.
Yes, yeah.
And my husband worked here, he learned his trade here. And then he went to Procter & Gamble when he got through. And a lot of the Dundas men worked here. And so this would be all Bertram's, I guess.
and the cenotaph, you go to the cenotaph up by the armories all the time, right?
Yeah,
And then when
the
my dad
cenotaph.
retired,
Well, the cenotaph's been there for a long time.
and when Dad retired, he started putting the wreath right for Knox Church there
Oh, he did, yes.
for many years.
In fact, we got his picture. They put it in the paper.
And that's-
The Dundas Star. Somebody said, "Jim's pictures in the paper." I said, "What?" And it was. So even our doctor, Dr. Bender, said, "I got your picture in the paper." So I cut it out and I got it in my form. And our doctor was Dr. Woods. Really went to him for a long time.
That was right across from the Legion, right?
Yes.
And you were involved with the Legion a lot, right?
Not too much. Jim did as he got, not when he came back, he didn't, but as he got older, and then they did. But he was married with 3 children. He didn't have too much time to spend there.
Except for Saturday afternoons, right?
Saturday afternoon. That's right. He'd be late coming home.
Well, what did he used to say to you? Do you need something downtown? Or
Oh, yes. Always some excuse. He needs something downtown.
would you go to the Legion?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. I think I said to him, "I know you're going down to the Legion. Why don't you just say you're going?"
And you used to get your hair done downtown. Remember, you used to stop and get flowers every Saturday at Holden's on York Road. You used to buy yourself some flowers after you got your hair done.
That's right, yeah.
So she sported downtown. Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I went to a hairdresser for a long time. And then we came here.
Have you ever been inside the Collins Hotel?
What is
Have you
that?
ever been inside the Collins Hotel?
If I were what?
Been inside the Collins Hotel.
Yes. I went in with
Bear with me, sorry.
I I think twice I've been there.
You've
No,
been
no,
there
older after, yes, but when I was younger.
when you were younger.
When younger, no, I wouldn't go. And I know, I went in with, Jim was working nights. And I went in with John and Evelyn and a bunch of them sitting in there. And Harold Fleming come in. I knew I'd find you in here. I said, I knew you'd find you in here. So that's, really, I didn't go. The column I go now to had something to eat once in a while, but
A nice patio.
but it was, yeah, it was fine. And the Melbourne, oh, there was the Melbourne Hotel. Did you know that?
That's right. It was up by towards the post office.
It's,
wasn't
yeah.
It?
I know that your dad and I were on New Year's at the Blue Stone. Is it called the Blue Stone?
No. Bluestone.
The dance up on top of the corner there. And we went over there for something. Over to wish somebody Happy New Year, I guess it was. I can't think of the name of that dance place.
There was a music hall across.
Music hall, that's what it is. Music hall, yeah.
Across from
That's,
Melbourne,
yeah.
Yes, yeah. And
We
that's
used to
all.
go there. That was nice, yeah. Couldn't remember the name of it.
And you used to go bowling. Remember you belonged to a bowling league?
Oh, yeah. Oh, belonged to a bowling league for a long time.
Downtown Dundas. Then it moved to the plaza, right? But it used to be a
Yes.
bowling alley by the post office. You remember on Foundry Street, I think it is, which is now an architect's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very popular there. Yeah. And and Leonard's girls, we would go there. I remember Rose Mercer was telling a joke or something, and she looked at me and she said to me after, I don't like telling a joke in front of you because you look so darn innocent. I said, what? What? She said, I don't like telling jokes in front of you. That was right. My dad went bowling there later on. That was fine.
And then when the plaza was built, you did the bowling alley up at the plaza, right? You bowled. And it was all Dundas people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all done. That was really good. We had a good time. That was a great bowling group.
What did you think about the amalgamation from Dundas to Hamilton?
No. I don't think Dundas people are happy with that at all. No, we fought it, but don't like that Michael Harris. No. Because, you know,
Strong reaction from a lot of people, don't you?
well, the Dundas Library, which is now the Carnegie Gallery, we had, when Hamilton took us over, we had to pay for that, to keep it. They said they had to pay for that.
Yeah, that's right.
And we used to have a show downtown too now, but that's where the health food store is.
Roxy, that's right, the Roxy Theater.
I read about that.
Yeah, and then it became, in my generation, Shade Blue, which was a dance hall, like, you know, in the summertime, we used to have dances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the Roxy Theater, yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that's right, because we were, I think they had 3 shows a week, and we were allowed to go to one. And this one time, I was going with my 2 friends, and my dad was sitting reading the paper, and he was tired, and it walked around from the hall into the kitchen, around the dining room, in the rug. So I walked around, and I hit the paper. He said, don't do that. So I did it. And I did it again. He said, you are not going to the show tonight. My dad never said anything, never. My mother told me later on years, she said, I was so angry with him for saying that, but he said nothing. So when the girls came, I couldn't go. Okay. I knew, I didn't say anything because I knew that I was wrong, but It made me feel better years later. My mother said I was just so angry at him, but he never says anything, so I wasn't going to say one word. You know what? Everyone felt guilty. He felt badly. I felt badly. My mother did.
You missed the show.
But if you don't behave, that's what you get. And the Costine was down from us on Brock Street. Did you know that? No, but the Costine's called. I guess he did some kind of. I don't know what they did.
What was it, man?
Costine.
Costine. What's that? Person or a?
I think they must have done some kind of tools or something.
Oh,
And Nick Genovese, have you heard of Nick Genovese, the singer, blind singer?
Yeah.
He was just a young boy, and he was going down there with his brother Carmen, and he didn't have his glasses on when they were, with the lights, with the thing, and he became blind. So Carmen he was going blind. Carmen used to take him into work, but he gradually became blind.
But he would.
He went to the hospital then, and then he married his nurse. But he's a great singer, and I think he's insurance or something. He was.
He raised, I don't know, maybe they had like 5 children,
Mm-hmm.
and used to go to St. Augustine's church. But he used to take the bus into.
Yeah, he had a dog.
To work, yeah. Which actually he became an inspiration to my aunt who went blind, because she said if Nick Genovese could do this, I can do it. Because they grew up all together.
Oh,
She
yeah.
said if Nick Genovese can do this, then I can do this.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, he was really great.
Very nice man. And he had a wonderful voice, didn't he?
Yes. But when you spoke to him, you had to tell him who you were right away. So he was always kept a sense of humor. He was really great, really great.
Positive person, you know.
And he had the dog wait for him at the bus stop. But I think one time there was a pile of snow, and somehow the dog got kind of long. He said he stood there for a long time. The bus didn't come by him. The dog had done something wrong. But he was just a great guy. I guess he died.
I think he probably
Yeah,
has.
really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Really nice young man. Trying to think of something else.
Didn't you used to go swimming down in Mill Street in the creek?
Oh, the falls near the Dundas district? Well, then it goes down against what's called the apron, and then it goes into a little pool. We'd go swimming there. That's where I learned to swim. I fell in. And we'd go up and down the slide and throw the moss at each other until we discovered the moss had worms in them. So we were all covered with worms, so then we quit doing that. But we did play there. That was a great time. We just had a great life. We did, the kids did, I think. Nothing too desperate. I don't remember anybody being any desperate.
No, I don't think so. Dundas is a pretty safe little valley town, you know.
Yeah.
It still has that feel about it, I think.
I picked up on that a
You
bit.
know,
yes.
really does have that feel about it.
The what?
I said it's still kind of like a valley town. It
Oh,
still
yeah.
has that feel, although it's changed, but it hasn't changed big times. You know, surveys are out there, but
The core.
yeah. So with Mom returning to live here in Amica, you're out all the time walking around, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things do you do when you're out on the
Pardon?
town? What kind of things do you do around town?
Yeah.
No, what do you do when you go out walking around town? What do you
Oh.
now?
I just walk all over all the places I'd like to see, some of the places. And I can walk up to the armories and when they had the November the 11th, I walk up to the armories. And I walk around town. I don't do exercise because I walk. It's better for me to walk. And that's it. But I don't see anybody I know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what one woman said to me, went for a walk, but I didn't see anybody. I said, Margie, they're all dead. You and I are still here.
What was the first major local news event that you can remember?
Pardon?
The first big news event that you can remember.
The first what?
News event.
Like
Big.
like something happened, like, I'm not saying the war, but like the war or the train crash or.
I just can't think of. I know there must have been, of course, the war. That was something. That was the major thing. I can't really think.
Remember I asked you about, during the war, did you know about, the concentration camps and all that was going on?
No,
But
we didn't know that.
But you said, but there was always something kind of unsaid, right? Or
Not too much. No,
but
they didn't.
something,
They didn't really know too much about that yet, I think. Or if they did, I forgot.
Yeah, that's okay.
What was the happiest moment of your life?
Oh. Probably when I got married. Probably when I had the children.
Where did you get married? Where did you get married?
In Knox Presbyterian Church. Mr. Mitchell. Yeah. That was the one that was here when we came. Dear, dear, dear man, he was.
What words of advice would you pass on to future generations?
I would just, I don't know, I just being a happy person and always speak to everybody. I just like people. I've been very fortunate, I think. I've had good friends, a great family. So I really can't complain about anything.
So your advice to people would be to?
Be happy, or
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add? Or is
just think positive thoughts, I guess.
That's important, yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I didn't know I was going to say what I did. Right. I've just been very lucky, I think, to live in Dundas and have the friends, have the family I had.
And you really never wanted to leave Dundas, did you?
Never. Neither did Jim.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy's father had a home up in Hamilton and Mountain, and they wanted us to go there. We said no. We stayed in our 2 rooms. We weren't leaving till, no, because Jim worked in Bertram's till he got to his time. So I've been lucky. I had a wonderful husband. He was very patient.
Yes. With
Pretty-
you, right? Not me.
Oh, he was pretty patient with you too. No.
And you're quite blessed. She's got grandchildren and great-grandchildren. How many great-grandchildren do you have now?
I've got 8 grandchildren, but I've got, I don't know how many great-grandchildren. Quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Yes.
And you're an artist too, so you should maybe mention about your being an artist. You're being an artist, painting here in Dundas. You had an art teacher here in Dundas.
Yes. I did art.
And your mother painted too.
how did you start getting involved in art?
Art. I like to draw, and I think Gwen Stockwell had heard about this one woman, and Marie Simons used to go to our church. So we went to her, and then she passed away, and then we found Gertie Hockett. We went to her, and like one of the men in here said, we've been painting together for 35 years. And Roy Hislop that met yesterday, I painted with him. And that was every Wednesday. That was a fun night. Though the kids weren't too keen on my paintings, but anyway, anyway, we liked them. That was fun.
And you've had an art show down, right?
Yeah. When Gwen and I first started going painting, we'd go home with them. And Jim and Derek would be painting, and we'd be playing cards. Look at what we did. Oh, that's wonderful. We just think it's so great. They weren't too great, but they were fun. No, it's fun. I can't. Out in the Castile, there was another factory up behind us. I forget what it was called.
Over behind Brock Street over there.
Yeah.
By the high school, yeah. I remember. The toy factory.
There was a toy factory, yes.
Yeah, there was something else, yeah. Can't remember the name is because it was the Dundas name who had this big toy factory up until maybe 15 years ago. So yeah, I just can't remember the name of the toy factory. Now my Aunt Norma might remember the name of that.
There was another factory too. I can't remember the name of it. Some of the men worked there. I can't remember the name of it.
Was the dill pickles there? Scrubs dill pickles. Were they there when you were there? Was Scrubs dill pickles there when you lived there?
Who?
Was it Scrubs dill pickles? You know the dill pickle? It used to be there for a long time.
They might have been.
Yeah, now they moved up to Ancaster, but they were there for a long time.
I can't think of it anymore.
It's good.
I tried.
I think you've done great, Mom.
Yeah, you did excellent.
I hope so.
You were perfect.
Are you getting more people's names to look at, to talk to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm always willing to take any if you know.
Yeah.
Grace Studd is right across the room from me.
Actually, her and her three sisters, right, are here.
Pardon?
Aren't her three sisters here too?
There's three sisters here, Grace Studd, and then Margie Eaton. I think Tim Eaton was Catella Eaton.
Yeah,
Margie Eaton.
Mark Eaton.
She's on the fourth floor.
Grace Studd.
Do you guys know how to spell these?
Yeah.
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 Fine. Sorry.
These are all sisters too, so.
Oh, cool.
So Grace Stutt, S-T-U-T-T. Mark Eaton, E-A-T-O-N. And she used to be married to her husband, Tim Eaton. He used to have a funeral home here. And actually, Russ Powers used to be her son-in-law.
And
What's the other?
Erna Wedham is another sister.
Verna?
Erna.
Erna?
I-R-N-A. Erna Wedham.
How do you, Wedham. I think W-T-M-A-N. They'll know how to spell it properly. But they are, again, they all went to Knox Church.
And they came to Dundas at the same time as we did.
Yeah, so they'll have stories too. And you got the Baconi brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lists to go through too.
Oh, yeah, I know you do, because once someone knows, oh, this person,
Exactly.
but, I mean, the fortunate thing is that, these folks are all in their 90s, but they're all still,
Yeah,
in
still there,
faculties,
yeah.
and
Oh,
so
yeah.
those stories will be gone, right?
Yeah, well, and exactly. That's why they wanted this whole
I
program
know,
in the first place.
yeah,
That's cool.
absolutely, for sure. And were you gonna let him have this picture?
Sure.
Would you like, or do you wanna give it to the museum?
Yeah, I have to talk to, I think, Sandra. She's
Okay.
in charge of the archives. She's
Yeah.
in charge of photos.
Okay.
And I don't want to just bring her something
No,
and be
no,
like,
for
here.
sure.
But
Yeah, no.
I'm almost positive they would.
Because I think I mentioned it once to Kevin, when they
There's,
started interested.
there's also a Mary Lee. She used to be, her husband here used to be the pharmacist down in Dundas, where the Guardian is. It used to be Mary Lee and her husband. And Grace and Doris and Bill Hazelhurst. They were pharmacists. They went to our church too. I said the Presbyterian church is all coming over here.
Do you still go every Sunday, or is it?
Pardon?
Do you still go every Sunday, or is it kind
No,
of...
I don't. I find it more difficult
Yeah, that makes sense.
because I have a walker that I use. So.
Do they have a
But
service?
sometimes if I, and it's at 10 o'clock, it used to be 11, so 10 o'clock's kind of early. Once in a while I thought I should get up early and walk there. So maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe when it gets really warm, not too warm.
Do they have a service here at all, or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And we do have the United minister comes over once a month. So I asked him, could a Presbyterian come? He said, certainly. So
Oh, nice.
they come.